Welcome to day 3. I'm inside again because as I'm filming this it's snowing outside, so I thought I'd stay in the warmth of the house rather than warm up the yoga shed, but I should be back there in the next day or two. So start today just arriving in this space wherever you are, and maybe soften or close your eyes. Tune in to your breath, your body. Notice the inhale and notice the exhale. As you inhale, feel the belly rise. As the diaphragm moves down, feel the ribs expand as the lungs fill. As you exhale, feel the rib cage return as the lungs empty and the belly softens and falls again. Notice and visualize perhaps the air coming into your body and filling the lungs from the bottom all the way right up to the tops in this part of your chest cavity, right at the very top, at the base of your neck. Notice your inhale. Notice your exhale. With every inhale, visualize energy, prana, life force coming into your body. And with every exhale, visualize letting go of things which no longer serve you. Whether that be thoughts, emotions, feelings, anything that you no longer need, let it go. From here, come down to lying on your mat. Maybe bend the knees and keep the feet flat and let your hands rest on your belly. Again, notice the shifts in your body with each breath. Stretch out the legs if you wish. I'll move up a little bit so I'm not kicking the rocking chair. Take the hands overhead and come into a full body stretch. And then bring the knees into the chest and just rock a little side to side. With your hands on your knee here, just allow your legs to move with the breath. So as you inhale, they move away. As you exhale, they move back. Notice the shift in your spine as you move. Notice any other sensations that arise. Then allow the knees to drop over to the right side so you can come into a supine twist. Sweep that left hand across and out, stretching your right arm out and taking your gaze over to the left. Let your body sink into the mat. And as you exhale, try and soften any area of your body. And breathe. Sweep that left hand back across, push back to center, just have a little rock side to side, and then let the knees drop over to the left. I'll just scooch slightly and drop over to the left. Sweep that right hand out and across, taking your gaze towards it, and let your body just sink and soften into the mat. And breathe. Sweep the hand back, push back to center, get yourself back in the center of your mat, take the hands under the knees and either just push yourself up to seated or have a little rock and roll and come to seated. Come to sit on the mat, try and line up your ankles so that you're sitting evenly on your sit bones. You can raise your hips a little by sitting on a rolled up blanket, a block or a cushion, or just sit straight onto the mat, but just try and check that you're sitting evenly on each side. Inhale and sweep the arms up. Exhale and release. Inhale and sweep. Exhale, release. One more. Inhale and sweep. Exhale and release. Inhale and take the arms up again. But as you exhale, take your left hand to your right knee and your right hand behind. Inhale back up. Exhale, take your right hand to your left knee, left hand behind. Inhale up and twist. This is an easy twist. Inhale up and twist. Keep the spine long. One more each side. Inhale up and twist. Last one. Inhale up and twist. Inhale up and come back to center. Okay, from here we're going to go to 4-point kneeling pose, tabletop. As ever, pushing into your fingertips and under the knuckle of the index finger and the thumb. Spread the fingers wide though, but you're trying to ease any pressure on the wrist. Checking that your knees are hip width apart, knees are under hips, and wrists are under elbows, are under your shoulders. From here, we're going to inhale forward slightly and then round down and back all the way to your child's pose. Inhale up and drop the belly to the mat, lift through the chest, coming into a cow. And then go through your cat back to child's pose. So round down, chin to chest, all the way back to child's pose. Inhale up to your cow. Round down and back to through your cat to child's pose. Inhale up, round down and back. One more of each. Inhale up, round down and back. Maybe take a wide-legged child's pose here, so letting the knees move wider and sinking down onto the mat. If you have difficulty with child's pose and your hips won't sink down to your hips, if your hips won't sink down to your legs, that's fine. Just put a cushion underneath. So you've got a choice of where you want to be in your child's pose, but feel free to join me in a wide-legged child's pose. Maybe move just a little side to side and notice the sensations right through the legs, through the hips, up the spine, around the ribs, across the shoulders and down the arms. And breathe. Come back up to tabletop, and we're going to go straight down forwards onto our bellies. Here, take the hands so that they are under the shoulders. So your elbows are tucked in, but they are bent. And we're going to rise into a gentle cobra. So you're pushing into the mat, but not putting all of your weight through your hands. Your legs are strong. You can push down through the pelvis, especially if you want to protect your back, if you've got a twingy back, and pushing into the tops of the feet. Inhale and lift. Exhale and lower. Inhale and lift. Exhale and lower. One more. Inhale and lift. And maybe this time just take a little turn side to side, exploring in your cobra. And lower down. We're going to take a sphinx. So coming onto your elbows, your forearms are parallel. Your elbows and your forearms are shoulder width apart. And to check that, you can just touch the opposite shoulder. So your elbows are still under your shoulders, your hands are stretched out, and they are sort of pulling into the mat. Inhale and lift through the chest, pulling the mat towards you. Exhale and soften. Inhale and lift. Exhale and soften. One more. Inhale and lift. And release and soften down to the mat, just for a moment. And breathe. From here, take the hands under the shoulders, push back up to a cobra, and then all the way back to your child's pose. Have a little rock side to side and come back up to tabletop. We're going to take a puppy pose here. So make sure that your knees are still hip width apart. Make sure that your knees are under your hips and they're going to stay there. But we're going to walk our hands forward, keeping the sit bones heading to the sky, and sink the chest to the mat, even dropping the forehead to the mat if you wish. You can keep your elbows off the floor, or you can let the forearms sink to the mat. Notice any sensations that arise. And then just drop the elbows and even take the hands behind the head if you wish, taking Anjali Mudra. That increases the sensations and the stretch slightly, so only go where it's right for you. Drop the hands back to the mat and walk your hands back to tabletop and push back to child's pose. Rocking again, side to side. Come back up to tabletop. And in our tabletop, we're just going to take some movements. So first of all, stretch out the right leg. I'll have to move forward slightly. Stretch out the right leg and the left hand. And we did this balancing table. But then bring that knee to elbow, arching through your spine. Take it out and bring it in. It's okay if you wobble. Inhale, take it out. Exhale, take it in. One more. Inhale out. Exhale in. And return to tabletop. Just have a little wag side to side like we do sometimes in downward dog. And that way you can release any tension that might have built through the spine. Swap sides. Stretch out the left leg, right arm. Elbow to knee, curving through the spine. Inhale out. Exhale in. Inhale out. Exhale in. One more. Inhale out. Exhale in. And return to tabletop. And again, just take some of those intuitive movements, snaking through the spine, moving side to side. And push back once again to child's pose. Okay. Back through tabletop, come back all the way down to the belly again. And we're going to take a locust. So, start by having the hands down by the sides, fingertips pointing towards the toes. So to start with, we're just going to lift like a cobra variation. Inhale and lift. Exhale and lower. And again. Inhale and lift. Exhale and lower. One more. Inhale and lift. Exhale and lower. This time you're going to lift the legs at the same time, but keep the legs parallel, the legs strong and stretched out. So inhale and lift. Exhale and lower. Inhale and lift. Exhale and lower. One more. Inhale and lift. Exhale and lower. You can do that again, or even stick to the first option, or add the arms, and the arms are just going to lift off the mat. Inhale and lift. Exhale and lower. Inhale and lift. Exhale and lower. One more. Inhale and lift. Exhale and lower. Final option, take the hands behind the back, interlace the fingers, squeezing the shoulder blades together. Inhale and lift. Exhale and lower. Inhale and lift. Exhale and lower. Last one. Inhale and lift. Exhale and lower. Release the hands to under the shoulders and push all the way back to your child's pose. And rock again, side to side. Take wide-legged child's pose if you prefer. And just breathe. And I will meet you back in tabletop. So from our tabletop, we're going to go up into a downward facing dog. Take the hands a little bit forwards, Pushing again through the fingertips, tuck the toes under, hover the knees and send the sit bones back and up. This is probably your first downward dog of the day, so be gentle with yourself. Remember, what we are seeking is a long spine. Your ears should be framed by your arms. What you don't want to do is to curve the spine here. You want it long. Doesn't matter how bent your legs are or how close to the mat your heels are. And then you can pedal, feeling that stretch down the backs of the legs. And find your stationary dog. I'm going to take a three-legged dog. So take the right foot to the sky, still pointing the toes down to the mat. And then take knee to nose, coming over so that your shoulders come over your wrists. Back to a three-legged dog, knee to nose. And one more, back to a three-legged dog, knee to nose. This time, from your three-legged dog, step that right foot through. It doesn't matter how it gets there. And drop the left knee, coming into a low lunge. You can keep the toes tucked or you can release them and rise up into your low lunge, sinking the hips towards the mat. And breathe. Turn the pinky fingers in a little just to get a good alignment in your arms. And then take the hands to heart center. Drop the left hand to the mat and take the right hand to the ceiling, coming into a bit of a low lunge twist. Still sinking the hips low. And then take that right hand to the mat, tuck the toes at the back foot, and let that right foot go and join it, coming into a plank. Now in your plank, you're pushing the mat away, curving a little through the top of the spine. Then drop the knees to the mat, shift forwards and lower down to your belly. Push back through a cobra all the way to child's pose. Come back up to tabletop with your hands a little bit forward, tuck the toes, hover the knees, send the hips back, coming back into your downward facing dog. And just take a few pedals here. Let's do that on the other side. So three-legged dog, left leg up, toes pointing to the mat. Then knee to nose, moving your shoulders over your wrists. Three-legged dog, knee to nose. Three-legged dog, knee to nose. Back to your three-legged dog, and then we're going to step that left foot through. Doesn't matter how it gets there. Your choice at the back, whether you untuck the toes, but drop the knee, sink the hips to the mat, and rise up again into low lunge, opposite side. And breathe. Then take that right hand to the mat, left hand to the sky for your twist. Notice any sensations, if it's different from the other side. Then release the hand to the mat, tuck the back toes, step back into your plank, pushing the mat away. Drop the knees, shift forward and lower once again. Push back through cobra all the way to your child's pose. And rock a little, side to side. From here, come back to tabletop, tuck the toes, hover the knees, push back up to downward facing dog and walk your feet to your hands to the feet. Have a long spine, soft knees and rise all the way up, coming to your mountain pose. And turn to face the long edge of the mat. Coming to your mountain pose, just have a little shake of each leg, shake of each arm, and a little bit of a swing side to side. Notice where your body needs you to move. Always listen to your body. It knows best. Then come to standing. I'm going to take a warrior 1 to a warrior 3. So there's a bit of a balance there. So if you need something to hold on to at either end of the mat, do so. Start by turning to the left edge of the mat. Take the left foot forward, right foot back, and it's sort of pointing to that top edge. Hips are pointing forwards to that short edge, and the back leg is strong. Sweep the arms up as you bend that front knee so that the knee comes over the ankle. Exhale and release. And again, inhale and sweep. Exhale, release. Stay this time. Inhale and sweep. And breathe. Take 3 breaths here. And be strong through your warrior. Then shift the weight into that left foot, bringing the right foot through and forwards. So you're coming into a balance. I'm just going to step back slightly. So you're coming into a very gentle balance. Take the hands to heart center, then tilt at the pelvis, tilt at the hips, and send that right foot back, coming into a warrior 3. It doesn't matter how much the standing leg is bent, and it doesn't matter if you need to hold on. Hands can be at heart center, or out in front, or even behind. Then bring that leg back through, and then step back into your warrior 1. Bit of a wobble there. And release. Turn to the front of the mat. Take the legs wide, coming into a wide-legged forward fold. So soften the knees, hinge at the hips, using blocks if you wish, coming down and releasing the lower spine. Move a little side to side. And we'll have a twist here. So use the blocks if you need to. Right hand to the mat, left hand to the sky. And swap. Left hand to the mat, right hand to the sky. And release. Walk the feet together or about hip width apart. Soften the knees, generously bend them if you wish. Lengthen the spine and rise back up to your mountain. And we'll take that on the other side. So this time, right toes are at the front, heading to the short edge of the mat. Left foot stands back. Hips are forward. Inhale into warrior 1. Exhale, release. Inhale into warrior 1. Make sure that back leg is strong. Exhale, release. Stay this time. Inhale to warrior 1. And breathe. Turn those pinky fingers in. And notice any sensations. Then shift the weight into that right foot. Bring the left foot forward and up, the knee bent, hands to heart center. I'm going to step back a little bit just so I don't hit my face on the chair. Then hinge at the hips, send that left leg back, coming into your warrior 3. Again, hands at the point that you wish, or holding on to something if you need to. And bring that leg back through and step back again, coming back to warrior 1. And release. Turn to the long edge of the mat again. Feet are out, knees are soft. Hinge at the hips, coming back into your wide-legged forward fold. And just move a little side to side. From here, take the feet closer together and just come straight down back to tabletop. From here, I'm going to take a dragon. So start by taking the right foot to the outside of the right hand. That may be enough. Or edge that left knee back. Now, if it creates too much discomfort on that knee, you can always put a blanket underneath it. Turn that right foot out 45 degrees, allowing the knee to drop open. That is your wing for your winged dragon. You can stay here or you can rise up to your fingertips, lifting the chest and having a little look around. Then place the left hand back on the mat, turn the body towards that right thigh and place the right hand on the thigh, taking the gaze behind. This is for your twisted dragon, or nosy dragon as we like to call it. Sinking that left hip towards the mat. Release, come back round, take the hands back down to the mat, leaving that leg where it is. Here you can have a sleepy dragon, snoozy dragon, whatever you want to call it, coming down to your forearms. You may not feel that you can do that. You can always come down to a block or a cushion, whatever is right for you. And your snoozy dragon just has a little rest. Snoozy, lazy dragon. Come back up to your hands. Help that leg come back in. Turn the foot back. Straighten that right leg, flexing the foot for a counter stretch through the back of the leg. Then release the foot so the knees go back to the same level and push back to child's pose. Have a little rock, side to side. And come back up to tabletop. We have to do that on the other side. So left foot to the outside of the left hand, just so you can see. Scooch that right knee back if that's okay. Turn that left foot out 45 degrees and allow the knee to drop open, just so you can see. There. Then lift up onto your fingertips and lift through the chest. Then come up onto your fingertips and lift through the chest. Place the right hand on the mat, turn the body to the left thigh, placing the left hand on the left thigh, taking the gaze over the left shoulder for your twisted dragon or nosy dragon. And breathe. Release the twist, coming back to the front of the mat. And here you can lower onto your forearms, a block or a cushion for your snoozy dragon. Just allow your head to drop. And just notice how it feels. Be aware of your breath and your body. Come back onto the hands. Help that left leg come back in. Turn the foot so it's pointing to the short edge. And then straighten that left leg with the foot flexed. Lovely counter stretch. Then release the legs so the knees are back together, back for your tabletop, and push back to your child's pose. Having a little rock side to side. From here, come to seated, and we'll take a seated twist because it's a lovely counter pose after that kind of practice. So, stretching the legs out in front of you. First, bend the left leg, left over right. If you need to sit on a cushion or a block here to raise your hips, please do. Now, some people prefer it with that lower leg still stretched out. I prefer with that lower leg bent, but you need to make sure that both sit bones are equal on the mat and that this foot stays flat on the mat. So your left leg is crossed over, your left foot is flat. Inhale, lift the right arm. Exhale and wrap it around that left leg. Inhale, lift the left arm. Exhale, take it behind. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale and twist. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale and twist. One more. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale and twist. Release the head. Release the back arm. Release the front arm. Have a little counter twist. And release the legs. And we'll do that on the other side. So bend the right leg. Right leg goes over left. Your choice with the lower leg. I prefer it bent. Make sure sit bones are equal. Inhale, lift the left arm. Exhale, wrap it round the right leg. Inhale, lift the right arm. Exhale, take it behind. Inhale and lengthen through the spine. Exhale and twist. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale and twist. One more. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale and twist. And breathe. Release the head, the back arm, the front arm, little counter twist, and then take the legs out again. From here, either come back to a comfortable seated position or lie down on your mat. Soften or close your eyes. Tune back into your breath, your body. As you inhale, take your awareness back to the belly filling. It rises, the chest fills, and as you exhale, they soften and empty. Inhale, let them fill. Exhale, let them soften. Let your breath return to its natural rhythm. Allow yourself to go on with your day. And remember, notice your breath, notice your body, and I'll see you soon.